I'm playing Day of the Tentacle. It's the best adventure game ever made. I know E3's happening. I decided I was gonna play this game all this week, and then realized, oh yeah, it's E3, and nobody really cared anyway. But now for sure nobody gonna care because everybody watching E3. Sony conference is happening in a half hour, right? There's a chance that maybe I don't care that much about most of the stuff, although there's rumors of The Last Guardian being shown, but those rumors seem to happen pretty often, right? Like every year. So we're playing Day of the Tentacle. I don't know. There's nobody's. I guess there's E3 stuff going on all the time, but if anybody is gonna leave, I might consider taking a break around the Sony conference. Hello. How's Trix?
Gee, the candy machine.
What's the scoop, milkshakes?
Wonder if that has something to do with my bashing it with the crowbar.
Hello, Joe. So I'm playing Day of the Tentacle. I don't know. I started playing it yesterday. I didn't get that far really because, in a way, maybe I did get all right because. So much of this game, you got to get through a bunch of dialogue, and I talked to quite a few people. I just didn't do that many puzzles.
Up too late?
Good
Try
morning.
Fickle Finger's fate.
How are you?
Stick in a dime and you'll have a good time.
Now, oh, this is a quarter, right?
It only takes dimes.
Right. That's okay. I'm considering. Does everybody want to see Sony? Because I could pause for it. To be honest, I haven't eaten much, and at some point in the near future, I should eat. I could eat on the stream, but how rude would that be? My goodness, that'd just be offensive. It's on the television.
This beautiful 4,000-carat diamond can be yours today with a special rock-bottom introductory price of $2 million. The number to call is 1-800-STAR Wars. Don't miss this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I don't know if I'll watch the whole Sony conference, but I'm considering pausing for a little bit at any rate. Yeah. You'd stay loyal? Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Hi there.
They haven't announced that. I was thinking they might announce something about the special edition or whatever coming, but they haven't said anything yet. Well, obviously I have a dime, so I can do this part.
I can't pick it up. That guy is lying on it.
I was rethinking about this puzzle with the keys
now
on the door.
A heavy sleeper.
And I'm usually pretty charitable of that puzzle. I'm just like, yeah, it's not great, but it's alright. It is a pretty bad puzzle, because if you think about it, why would you think this door would have keys on it more than any other door in the place? So it would be you'd have to think about maybe, I have to be opening and closing every door in the game. That's really dumb, like who would want to do that? Although I will say the only thing that makes it a little more okay is the fact that the right click does that automatically. So maybe you'd do it just kind of messing around. I don't know. Anyway, oh right, you need more dimes, don't you? This doesn't work yet. It just occurred to me, I think I can get, I'm not sure, I think I can already get Laverne back, right? Because does Hoagie have, yeah. I changed the music, by the way. I don't even know what it is. It's just whatever Scum uses as default, so it's not a MIDI. But I decided I do like it better, and it sounds more like how I remember. Like just this. Like when you switch to Hoagie and this guitar riff. That's not even a guitar. It's a cheesy guitar in the MIDI. It goes like... How much 3D stuff are you watching? There's some people make impressive stuff. I think our shitty movie, we went nuts with the plot. I don't know if anybody made anything that ridiculously long and trying to make a plot of some kind, but I'm in the wrong place. But those guys, yeah, their action and the way they create those environments out of objects. We did a little of that in our shitty 3D Movie Maker movie. Later on, we started doing more of that, but like you can, because that game, oh, I have to be here. Microsoft 3D Movie Maker, you can take 3D text and you can do anything with it.
Kumquat.
You can stretch it and turn it and change the color. So a lot of times people just make environments out of loads of like 3D text and they put it all together. Sergeant Steve. I don't think I've seen that actually. So I think, is this all you have? Yeah, this is all you have to do, right? So now it's
Looks better now.
See, that's very cartoony logic. The way you do this, you just paint them. But that works,
Just about done
I
with this.
think.
Then I'm grabbing the latest flag design and sewing it up. Then it's bye-bye, Betsy.
You started making a 3D movie maker thing? What, since yesterday? I was gonna start, by the way, playing with shitty indie games, but I thought, well, that Sony conference is happening, it'd be good to actually play some Day of the Tentacle from the get-go. Can still get what? Oh, 3D Movie Maker? If you're asking if you can still, people have 3D Movie Maker, yeah, you can find it online if that's what you're asking. If it's something else, do tell. But yeah, it's free online.
Excuse me.
I think the license or whatever is expired. Never, you just download
Yes.
it. It's what's nice. 3D Movie Maker, you can make some short things with it. I made a short thing about Guitar Hero Christmas. I think it's called a Guitar Hero Christmas. That was short. I don't know. I've always thought maybe 3D Movie Maker wouldn't be that bad to make little things with instead of fucking hour-long movies, which is what I did at first. Cut down the tree.
You've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother. Lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, there... Oh, well, what do you know? There is a cherry tree.
Yeah, I made that a long time ago.
Well, let's
But I tend to repost it every year. I put it on Twitter like every year. So. Yeah.
I said come down from there at once!
Try to understand. I'm stuck in this.
A Simpsons in 3DMM would be pretty. That is pretty funny.
Voila.
Because I could technically
You're
make
quite a
those
man.
characters with
Yes, I know.
with shapes, with like odd little shapes and stuff. I probably could. Now I've got Laverne. I do like that actually. I think the puzzles for getting the other characters
Scratch one kumquat tree.
are all pretty simple, which I think is a good idea. They shouldn't be that hard. I thought of a terrible flaw. The fact that you transfer objects to your friends by putting them in the toilet. For one thing, there's the silliness of when you put pasta in, the pasta gets wet. Nothing else gets wet, even paper or anything. You can put a bucket of paint in the toilet, right? Yeah. I know, you're not like, this game's sort of silly. You're not supposed to think about this stuff too much. Also, something that occurred to me is that when Bernard comes out of the Chronotron right at the beginning, he's so skinny, he went all the way inside the toilet. So can Bernard just climb into the toilet and visit his friends? Or is it too... I mean, why does the toilet even work? It's not plugged into anything. Yeah, I know. This game's supposed to be very silly, and you're not supposed to think too hard about that sort of thing. Let's just see what Laverne's
Get
doing.
me out of here! I haven't done anything.
Well, you must have done something or you wouldn't be here now, would you? You'd be out in the lobby with your tentacle owner getting dressed up for the human show.
Owner? No one owns me.
Gosh, no owner, you say? Well, don't worry about it. I'm sure someone will come adopt you before we have to put you to sleep.
Damn that Dr. Fred.
Hey, she knows the Edison family motto.
Probably marked.
I will say, yeah, and she has a scout.
Hey, they can cheat, you can't.
I get zapped, right? Laverne's a
Fascinating.
pretty good character. I like how she starts with a scalpel. It's a little distressing. The thing I'm just thinking about too, Laverne definitely, well, all these characters frankly don't get enough, I think, recognition for being fucking weirdos. Like, especially because people, you know, there's always the talk of female characters in games. Laverne definitely gets overlooked. She is not sexy in any way. She is not meant to be. She's out of her fucking mind. The only thing is, I bet there might actually be... I genuinely wonder about this when this game gets brought, like, remade or whatever. I am wondering if there are going to be people mad that, like, Laverne makes fun of, you know, mental hospital patients because it's, like, a joke version of that. I really feel like that might be a thing that could happen. But she's crazy, and even in, like, a slightly distressing way, like the fact that she finds electrocution enjoyable. At least one time she does. She smiles. Ableism? Yeah. Are people gonna call that ableism? I really wonder about that. Like, is this dated? Because it's not supposed to be funny. It doesn't bug me.
I think they're
But
both
I wonder.
cheating.
I think she's like a great character. Because the only time you ever see crazy people in video games, it's a lot more serious. They're like serious crazy people, you know. It's like it's a severe thing, like Sanitarium, which I actually do think is a cool game.
Think they're both
But like
cheating.
that's an example of a serious
they're
game.
both cheating.
Serious mental
I
illness
just want to
game.
pat his little head.
Go ahead, make my day.
Push him.
He's crabby looking enough
I forget
already.
what happens if you try to pick people up.
Not my type.
Alright, that's if you try to pick up people.
Dr. Fred, is that you?
What? You're nuts. There hasn't been a Fred in the Edison family for 200 years. The last Fred was such a shame to the whole family, not to mention the whole human race.
Yeah, I really don't. I can't think of other female characters in gaming remotely like Laverne, and frankly, in general, like Hoagie's a weird character too. Hoagie, he's just a big weird nerd, like roadie type. I mean, I guess Tim Schafer did his whole roadie thing again later with Brutal Legend, but
Well, who are you then?
I just think the way they
I'm
made
Zed
their
Edison.
characters so weird.
My wife Zedna.
And not at all physically appealing, like any of them. They're just weird cartoon people. I think it's
Nice
pretty
to
cool
meet
and
you.
pretty. It's not typical at all, is it? Like, I guess there are some nerds in games. Bernard isn't the only nerd that people have made games out of, but whatever.
Where am I?
You're in the ancestral home of the once proud Edison family. We were once the masters of this house, just as humans were once the masters of Earth. Now we are the servants, the pets.
And not very good at either one, I might add.
Oh, get bent, you overdressed nightcrawler.
I will say, I think one thing about at least the environment is pretty limited in this
How
game.
do I
So,
get out of here?
kind of once
If
you
I
talk
knew
to
that,
everybody,
you think I'd be here?
you've probably done it all. So,
What's this about a human show?
It's
yeah,
a
Thomas
degrading
Jefferson,
farce.
probably the most
That's
normal
what
looking
it
one,
is.
yeah.
These slimy tentacles put humans in humiliating little...
I mean,
costumes,
obviously this
do
struck a chord.
sickening
People
things
found
to
this
their
really cool because,
hair,
as I said
and then
yesterday,
force them to parade their
uh,
ridiculous talents in
so
front
many
of
indie adventure games just
unqualified
rip
judges
this
who are
off,
paid off
and
weeks in
yeah,
advance.
the
Didn't
look.
get in, eh?
They said macrame wasn't a talent. Pointy-headed goons.
I heard that.
I'm tired of talking now. It's been a long day.
Oh, this was always
and
so
I'm
sad.
only human.
Very sad. I did. I've never. This was at a time voice acting was. I don't know. It was like kind of at a crossroads, I think. So this isn't the most amazing voice acting. The guy they got for Bernard was in some comedy show, and they wanted to base a character on this actor, and then they were like, why don't we just try getting him? And they got him. I think his voice is weird. It's never quite fit for me. I don't know. But I'm actually, now that I'm listening to Laverne again, I actually like her voice a lot. I think there's something, I like how
I
creepy it
think
is.
it controls the force field.
I like how it's creepy but sort of smooth. I forget if you, oh yeah, I
Looks
remember what you
bored.
do here, sort of.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Get me out of here! This is a violation of my rights.
Rights? You're a human. You don't have any rights.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Ha, that's a good one. Imagine a human using a bathroom. Come on, let's take a walk.
Oh, I have
Okay,
some idea.
human, do your business.
Oh, I can't get her out yet. I remember.
Looks What a shabby paint job.
I know for some reason I can, oh, I remember why. The
I
way
can
she
see
walks.
Dr. Fred's old lab, and his
is
generator
incredible.
is still there. Gee, I could really use that power, but I'll never get through this window.
Why not?
I'm too big to fit through.
I guess you are. But Hoagie fits through that little window in his time. Alright, I remember now that I can't get her out yet. There's one thing, I kind of want to say this when I had all three of their environments, like, completely unlocked. But I was thinking about the game after I played it last night, and there's some stuff that freaking kind of blew my mind a little bit. I had, like, a revelation about how cool the environment is in this game, because, well, I'll just do it with these two guys. But, something that's really, really great about this game is, for one thing, it's the fact that it basically, the house is a loop, right? So I can go up here. I mean, there's a little bit of dead ends, but like not in a bad. You can go out here and you can go out to the outhouses. You can go in here, and this is a bit of an off the path sort of thing. But other than that, and these are just like little asides, for the most part, this whole environment's a loop. You can go up the fireplace, and that brings you to the top, and then you go back down and you're kind of back at the beginning.
It's blocked up with somebody's bed.
And it works essentially the same. I think Laverne's, I want to withhold because I don't remember judging Laverne's environment because I don't remember it entirely. I think Laverne runs into more dead ends because, you know, it's a totalitarian tentacle society. But like, it's kind of cool because I just had Bernard come up here. But, you know, basically you learn the environment is essentially the same in all three time periods. And what's genius about it being a loop is that, like, I'm constantly thinking about in adventure games how they're really passive most of the time. The fact that you just click and then you're just waiting for a guy to walk, you know. And I know they put in like Curse of Monkey Island stuff had that double click so you could jump from room to room really fast. But to me, and maybe this sounds stupid, but to me, I've always thought to some extent that makes the game feel like a series of slideshows. Doesn't feel like you're traveling through the environment. It's a useful thing, and I use it to double click so I don't have to walk through an environment and, you know, just sit there watching my character do that. But at the same time, the environments feel less real, less, I don't know what word, palpable, not quite the word I want. But, what's amazing about this game is, for one, every room's really pretty small. You don't spend much time at all clicking these guys around. Even the original Maniac Mansion had some stupid rooms. It had a really long dining room with a really long table, and you just had to click and like click and walk along this dining room. And the fact that it's a loop is so cool because the whole game is essentially, you could argue, backtracking, because you're just going from room to room finding these clues and these objects, and then you got to go back and solve the puzzle. But backtracking doesn't feel remotely like backtracking because everything's connected. The rooms are so small. Like, I don't know if anybody's really talked about this, but like, to my mind, this is one of the only games that makes me feel like one of the only adventure games that makes me feel pretty actively engaged the whole time, because I'm constantly moving my character to different places. The rooms are not that big. I don't have to watch him walk a long time. And the other thing that's cool is it could be that the environment adds. It could be hard to remember all the puzzles and remember where you still have something to solve, etc., etc. But the fact that you go to the same place 3 times, right, but with different, just slightly different looks of it, it just looks a little different in each time. You know, it becomes familiar, so you're never really lost, because even though these are totally different rooms, they're also the same room. Yeah. And to me, this is kind of mind-blowing. The fact that it's like a house, the house is a loop. It's a little more... I guess it's a little more like their older games, because like Zack McCracken, Maniac Mansion... Yeah, I guess those. Those are the ones that like they make everything available to you from the start. More or less. Not quite, but more or less. All the environments are available to you from the start. The only difference is here, they are so small that it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's so well contained, doesn't feel overwhelming. It's not at all like Tim Schafer's later stuff. It's Monkey Island 2 is pretty like that too, right? Monkey Island 2 is pretty quickly when you get everywhere opened up. And it's huge though, right? Like all the areas, it's big, all the different you can get on Captain Dredge's ship and stuff. But later Tim Schafer stuff, like Full Throttle and Grim Fandango, those games are all about forward progression, where they give you a few environments and then it leaps forward a few years, then you get a bunch of new environments. And it's very, very different. But even Grim Fandango, I remember watching Manny run for a very long time, and I remember it feeling a little slow at times. But yeah, I don't know. I know that it's one of those cases where the story serves, the gameplay serves the story. The fact that it's based in this house and it's based around time travel makes the environment work in this way. I don't know what kind of game you could make that would manage this again, but it's one of those, it's an awesome bit of design, because the story it's about, it's the environment serves the function of the story, but it also happens to be fun to act, like it's easy to traverse.
It's useless. No one will ever
I
be
can get this
interested
done
in
now,
my design.
I guess.
So I'm ending my novelty inventing career right here in this tacky motel. How
I know that was a long ramble. I hope you enjoyed it.
I can't even do this right.
Now,
Here's something I was wondering. Why can't you jack this open with the crowbar?
I'm not so sure that's a good idea.
Why? Oops.
And I thought glow-in-the-dark fake doo-doo was
Fake
such a
doo-doo.
good idea.
This guy sound... Who's he? He sounds a little bit like Woody Allen, but we've already met a Woody Allen, so... Okay.
Neat.
Oh yeah, but I also, they give you a couple items in this that you can just use on everybody, right? Like the boring book.
Thermodynamic flux induction circuit design is perhaps the most fascinating branch of practical electrical theory.
I've never been so bored in my life. How depressing.
Also, just in general in this game and time travel, this is seriously like... I think this is probably... It's one of the best uses of time travel in games, I think. It's such a playful... I think this and Chrono Trigger are up there for me. It's such like a playful use of time travel. The ideas that you can... The stuff you can do with this. The idea of like cutting down the tree in the past. It's such a it just adds another cool dimension to the puzzles and stuff you can do. I know how to get the vinegar. I remember you put the wine in a time capsule, right? And then it changes to vinegar in the future, and that's genius too. And then you send the vinegar back in time again to use it there, which is it's so cool.
I can't see it very well from here.
I remember the music in this room extremely well. It really is like in my head.
I can't see it very well from here.
I think it's supposed to be like shitty elevator music.
Neat.
Neat. Looking at the man. Neat.
Hi, my name's Bernard. What's yours?
Dwayne. Isn't that depressing?
I'll say the
Gee,
redundant
you look
thing.
depressed.
What clued you in, Brainiac?
The stooped shoulders and long face?
I'm having a crisis here, a warehouse of anguish. I'm a novelty goods designer by trade. I've come up with some fabulous ideas. The exploding lollipop, itching powder gum, and reverse 3D glasses, to name a few. The problem is, no one likes my designs. I send them all over the world and no one responds. I just wish someone would say they liked one just once.
I remember this.
Oh, woe is me.
I know that I can remember the Green Tentacle song. I like this.
I like your design
your
ideas.
design idea.
Well, I didn't mean you.
What did you say your job was again?
Oh no.
I'm a novelty goods designer by trade.
My friend
the problem
Kieran
is,
here
no
again,
one
and
likes my
he's brought me food.
designs. I send them all over the world
so are you
and no
leaving
one
again, or you're done?
responds. I just wish someone would say they liked one
Oh,
just
okay.
once. Oh, woe is me.
They didn't reuse music like this, like in Sam and Max, did they? I wonder if they, like, Snuckies had this song or something. Did you get 10 pounds of food? I already said
I
this.
like your design ideas.
Alright.
Maybe I can help cheer you up.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Here we go.
Let's discuss philosophy.
Okay, here's my philosophy. Life is completely pointless, especially mine.
Thanks.
Have you read Camus?
Oh, who cares? Philosophers are all failures like me who couldn't make it in a real profession.
It's usually true.
Nice music they pipe in here, huh?
It's from the Elevator Classics series. It seems like this one tune has been on all day. I've never been so depressed in my life.
Alright.
Never mind.
Well, I mean, I know what to do here.
You're brilliant. What a novel design. Come to Baltimore at once.
I don't understand what was wrong with exploding catnip.
Yeah, who was the other guy who sounded like Woody Allen? Oh yeah, the Jefferson or something? Or is he? Oops. Alright.
The design's solid, but I need some waterproof material, like cast iron or something.
I'm just curious, is he... Are they supposed to be related? Oh, I guess
Poor
they are.
me. Poor
There are like
me.
so many people in the past that are... So John Hancock is this guy for some reason. He definitely has the same face. You are watching it late style, you know. And very small.
I'm like you.
Yes. Alright, here we go.
Hey, there's a letter here for you.
For me? Probably another rejection slip. Oh well.
It's funny how cruel all this is. False
You're
hope.
brilliant. What a novel design. Come to Baltimore at once.
The other thought I've had about this game, which people can decide if it's bullshit or not, yay, was,
Things are growing in it. Neat.
neat.
My dad has one of these in his den.
My thought about this game is that, considering, as I said, I think this is the same diamond commercial, right? Every time you turn on the TV.
That's right,
Yeah.
an incredible 4,000 carat diamond for the piddling sum of $2 million. That number again, 1-800-STAR Wars. Wanda will be standing by to take your call.
But my thought is, like I said before,
When you pull the trigger, a humorous flag is propelled out of the
Yes, yes.
barrel on a stick and unfurls.
a lot of the time in this game, when you're doing stuff, you just have to accept you're doing it purely to get objects, or because you can. You know, like, oh, I have this note that says this guy is, oh yeah, I forgot I can just eat this, can't I? I think I might still need a dime. But you're just doing stuff because you can do it. And you just have to trust that, like, you might need to, so try it out. But to my mind, this game doesn't really have, oh, that's it. Okay.
My grandma gave me one like this for... Ew, it's soaking wet. My grandma gave me one like this for my birthday. My grandma gave me one like this...
He should still tell you it's wet, because that's important. That's kind of a fuck up, I guess, that he doesn't tell you again. But, because you just have to do stuff for the sake of trying it out, I think something to consider in this game is, like, the plot is pretty thin, right? The plot is just you're going back in time to turn off you're trying to get your friends back. And then you're going to try to turn off the machine to stop Purple Tentacle from becoming crazy. But, so to my mind, these little puzzles you do, and considering how non-linear so much of this game is, it's almost just like the story of this game is, I'm a dude in a hotel. I wandered into this room and gave a man false hope and stole his gun. I went over here and made a guy fall off his bed so I could steal his shirt. These are the story are these like weird little puzzles you're solving. Because it's really not, it's not a hugely narrative driven adventure game, as far as you can say that for an adventure game. And to me, like, there are those games now. If there's this guy, what's his name, Mark Brown, he's gonna start talking as soon as I go in
Bernard.
here. But
What are you doing up here?
Well, I couldn't stop Purple, and he's gonna go out and conquer the world, and I'm afraid of what he'll do if he catches me, if Dr. Fred doesn't find me first.
Why wouldn't Dr. Fred look in your room?
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Hey!
What's up, Bernard?
There's this guy, Mark Brown. I think he does games journalism, but he does a series on YouTube called Game Maker's Toolkit. And I think he's doing the best, like, YouTube channel for just game design discussion. But he talks about there's games like Adult Swim has this game Westerado, and that Lord of the Rings one. What's the Lord of the Rings one where you enslave people? Enslave ogres or orcs. You don't know that one? Alright. There's a pretty new Lord of the Rings game. It's the one where when they kill you, they remember you.
Oh, Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor, yeah. Yeah, he said like Westerado and Shadow of Mordor are games where like the narrative is kind of dictated by your actions and by the way like you can do everything non-linearly, and it's not based on there being one big, like, it's not like the new Telltale games where there really is only one main narrative and you're kind of doing little things that give you the illusion of there being different stuff. In reality, it's pretty much a linear story. But I think this is still, pretty linear, obviously. It's not remotely like something like Shadow of Mordor or Westerado. Or like SimCity, I guess. Those kinds of games are like you make your own narrative effectively, right? Like sim games. But to me, this is kind of the closest, like, for a game that still basically only has one storyline. It's so non-linear, and it's so based around just doing little actions in whatever order you want.
Up to now?
Well, he wants
It's
to
like
take
your own
over
little
the
story
world,
of
so I figure he's up to something
mundane shit. Oh, this is interesting, because this is in reference to something I haven't done yet.
Conducting cryogenic experiments on small animals?
I wouldn't doubt it, but I was thinking more along the lines of politics.
Ha. Ha ha. Oh, he does do politics, as I recall. And the other thing, too, is to me, it's almost the kind of stuff like where if you think about it, like Half-Life, that game has an overall sci-fi plot, which I personally don't give a shit about. I don't care about the Combine and none of that stuff means anything to me. I do like what's the businessman's name? The weird guy? The G-Man. I like the G-Man. I think he's cool. But beyond that, I don't like, to me, the storyline of Half-Life is I was stuck in a building and then I had to crawl through a vent and then I had to break a window, and it's that kind of thing where you're just, the story is you making your way through the game through these funny little actions. And the one that I think this sticks out in a lot of people's mind, the part where you have to switch Dead Cousin Ted with Dr. Fred, that just somehow feels like an event, like a sequence And there's something just very fun about solving that whole part.
Want to help me save the world?
I'm afraid to leave the room. In fact, I don't think I can even move from this spot. Purple scares the daylights out of me.
One moment, one moment. I think everybody now it's the Sony conference, right? Oh boy. I don't know. I could pause briefly. Who wants to well, most people who are watching it probably left.
How's your new band doing?
Green tea and the sushi platter? We're doing great. We've decided to really capitalize on our strongest quality as a band.
Hold on. I'm pushing a button. This one.
Carefully crafted melody and distinctive counterpoint?
Volume, man, volume. We have a chance to win a Grimy Award as the loudest new band. We're pulling out all the stops.
Oh yeah, was that an ad?
Weren't you looking for a new guitarist a while back?
Yes, but we decided to go with a guy who plays power tools instead. We can generate a lot more sound.
The only
that
thing
way.
I really want to know from the Sony conference is if they show the Last Guardian. Other than that, I don't care that much. I don't know. There's rumors that the Last Guardian might show up. I don't know.
Are you working on an album?
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah, I
a
think that's
CD
like
called
it's a
Rap on the
joke
Forehead.
that he
We've
can't.
got a few tracks hooked up through the stereo
Yeah, that
if you wanna
he
hear
can't
them.
move from that spot. Yeah, it's funny.
Have you gotten any airplay?
No, we're a little too experimental for most radio stations, but we have a huge following in the club scene.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You might be able to hear me eating, in which case I apologize profusely. Oh, this part.
Why the litter box? Have you got a cat?
Don't ask.
That's just weird.
How does a tentacle sit in a beanbag chair?
Oh, that part's easy. Getting back out of it is hard.
Can you actually use that bowling ball?
No, Purple brought that in here after he grew arms. He got really discouraged, though, because he doesn't have fingers.
Well, see you later, Green.
Yeah! Good luck in saving the world, B-Man.
This room has a bunch of crap in
Good
it
thing
that
he
you
didn't
can't
drink that stuff.
do anything with. Oh, you get a cool poster.
Uh-oh, this looks like it might work. Neat.
Because this stuff.
It looks too heavy for me to pick up. It's pretty small.
I guess there are a bunch of things in this room that are like. They might feel a bit like red herrings, or they might make you like, what is this? Why is there? And because they show up right at the end of the game, you have to do these things.
There's no label. It's probably blank.
Yoink.
Powerful looking speaker.
This guy's eating a block of cheese over here. No.
It's sticking out.
Good, good. We're gonna play the stereo.
Plenty of wattage in this stereo. I can't wait to try my 8 tracks in it.
Here come my first song.
Wow, this is loud.
This puzzle, I don't know. I always thought this was a pretty good puzzle. It's easy enough. Stormtrooper helmet. You cannot look at it. I think you can just leave the music on, right? And then you hear it throughout like the whole house. Is that right? Yep. I hope when they re-release the game, they put it on Steam and there's
Whew.
I remember how he says whew. I hope they put the game on Steam and there's an achievement for playing the game with the music on the whole time. Green Tentacle's music. I think that's very important. For as long as you can. Alright, well, I think I can get Laverne out now, so I'll do it.
I think it's it's fake.
Yeah. This is one of those cases, you know, occasionally the line reading is not right. He clearly emphasizes
I think it's
think,
fake.
but the voice actor emphasizes fake. I think it's fake. That's not what he meant to say at all. I will give this to Laverne.
It's startlingly realistic.
We can give her scalpel away. What happens if you try to murder people with her scalpel?
I'm afraid he'd overpower me.
Alright. I'll get rid of it. I know who needs it.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about time.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Ooh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to throw up all over.
That's good
Uh-oh.
job.
Time to visit Dr. Tentacle.
I don't actually remember exactly when you
Well, what have we here?
used the puke, but I know
I
you do.
feel pukey.
Indeed. All right, now hold still.
Are you gonna use your scalpel?
No, of course not.
Yeah, tentacles rule the world
Darn.
in the future. Yeah, and she wants people to use the scalpel. Laverne's scary.
What? What?
Just as I suspected.
What?
There's nothing wrong with you, human.
What a letdown.
Well, I'm late for the show. I'll send your keeper back for you. Oh. Sit. Stay. Good boy.
They've got the spleen mixed up with the liver. Oh, I've got plenty of those at home. Licensed to treat tentacles for the betterment of the tentacle race. Licensed to euthanize humans for the betterment of the tentacle race.
That's a good
I
joke.
shouldn't. He paid a lot of money for that.
As I said, many of these jokes meant nothing to
I
me
still don't
as a
understand
child.
how they can eat through a sucker.
Yoink.
I still don't understand
So
how
what
they
happens
can
if I
eat
just
through a
leave?
sucker.
You get caught, don't you? You don't? Well, alright. I guess I don't need the vomit yet. Alright, never mind. I completely misremembered that.
He looks like a real stiff. I wonder if that still leads down to Dr. Fred's old lab.
Humans aren't allowed to roam free here. I'm taking you
Oh.
back to the kennel.
Boy, I wish I had a tentacle costume or something, but I can't even sew.
Oh, the sound of the tentacles bouncing. Yeah, that is a good sound.
That's one of the few places where fake barf isn't used. Zed?
I'm
Yeah,
tired
yeah.
of talking
That's a
now.
cool sound.
It's been a
Yeah,
long
shush.
human.
Human, yes. I know
Yoo-hoo,
what to do.
Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Oh, do I? Yes? Oh, not quite. But I do.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, all right. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
This is right here.
Looks like a paint-by-numbers picture of sushi.
This is one of my all-time favorite puzzles because I played this game, I guess the first time I played this game, I played it with my sister. And, we could not I remember we went to have dinner. We were sitting there with my parents having dinner, and we were still just thinking about the game. And my sister just kept remembering every time you talked to
What if
Betsy
he finds
Ross,
the
she
face
pretty
of the
much says
devil,
this every
like
time.
Red, white, and blue flames coming out of his mouth.
Just put the plans on the table and I'll get to it.
Yeah. And my sister, like, while we were just sitting there, we were both eating dinner quietly, trying to think of how to beat this game. She goes, "Oh, she said, put the plans on the table. We have to put the tentacle on the table, then you can get a..." And it was one of these awesome moments with these games, where you think of something and you just kind of know it's gonna work. Sometimes you're wrong, because adventure games are usually shittily designed. But in this case, that's the way it was.
That'll be one cool flag.
What does she say
Well, let's
now?
make it just
Oh.
like the British flag, but upside down to cheese them off.
Just put the plans on the table and I'll get to it.
So now I have to get to the flag, which I guess means what? You just say you're sick again and then find your way up
Yoo-hoo,
there.
Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about time.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Ooh, I don't feel so good.
Again?
I will go this way. Oh, right, so the chimney's here. Yeah. See, I like how you're in a new environment, technically, but you're not really, because you've seen all this stuff, so you kind of know where everything's going to go. You
No
know what's
way
going to
could
connect
I reach
to what.
that.
Oh, I've made a huge mistake. I can't get this to her right now, can I? Yeah, she's not there.
I waited, but she never picked it up. Hope she's okay.
Crap. Alright, I have to get caught again.
Looks pretty old.
The windows don't open.
There's no
right.
way to open it. Why would I want to get through there anyway? It's a 2-story drop to the showroom floor. There's
I guess
no
there's
way
less
to
of a
open
loop
it.
in
Why
the
would I
Burns.
want to get through there anyway? It's a 2.
In the Burns version of the world.
Tell me, Lieutenant, how do you really feel about humans?
Honestly, sir, I think they're filthy, obscene, foul, sickening. Like the stuff in your eyes when you wake up. Like the wax that builds up behind your suction cups after a few days.
The stuff in your eyes. They have eyes? At best they have one, right?
Like,
That's enough, son. I just wanted to be sure you weren't one of those humanist sympathizers. What with this ridiculous human show going on here, there's humophiles everywhere.
I'm no humophile, sir.
That's good. Now let me tell you about a little plan I have.
Well, I'll just wander around till I get caught again. I forget who this guy is.
He looks a lot like my Uncle Reggie. Hi, I'm
Ooh-wee, you are one ugly human.
Excuse me?
Man, I'm not kidding. You are just about the homeliest Homo sapien I've ever seen.
Thanks. You ain't so hot yourself.
I never said I was, but sheesh, have you taken a look at yourself lately? I mean, your hair alone is gonna give me nightmares. Not to mention your teeth, your clothes, your one eye that's bigger than the other.
Gee, how much worse could I get?
Not much, unless there were two of you.
Where I come from, I happen to be quite the babe.
You mean the kennel? That doesn't say much. Everyone in there is a human show reject.
Human show? Hot dang, sign me up.
Sorry, humans can't sign themselves up, no matter how ugly they are. Go ask your owner to sign you up. Ask him to sign you up for a haircut while they're at it.
Well, how's everyone doing? Should I keep going? Should I go see what Sony's doing? Has anybody
I
got
think it's a
Sony
picture of Purple Tentacle.
doing shit? Sony have been doing things.
They may be oppressive and power mad, but at least the tentacle stuff. It has 3 settings: cook, jet defrost, and mutilate beyond recognition.
I'm sorry. Occasionally I'm eating. I like how this room's the same.
It's busted up good. It's a storage cabinet.
There ain't nothing in it.
It's an empty storage cabinet.
What are you doing? Oh, my stream. You can open the Sony crank.
Hey, how'd you get out?
They did the. Oh yeah, I
Get
saw
back
the
in
freaking
there.
MGS trailer. Well, actually, I didn't. I didn't pay attention to
I
it.
wish Dr. Tentacle would stop losing patience.
All right, I gotta go back to
Yoo-hoo,
the bathroom
Mr. Tentacle
house.
Guy.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, all right. Come
Yeah,
on,
I
let's
didn't.
take a walk.
I mean, maybe that game will be good. I don't know.
Okay, human, do your business.
Metal Gear, but the trailer was just long and had a lot of dialogue, kind of like a Hideo Kojima game. Had a lot of voiceover. What do I need here? Oh, this, yeah. If there's anything else.
Gee, Dr. Fred doesn't have a
I
penny.
know she's gonna need this eventually. I'll just give it to her. I have a feeling she needs the ink, but I can't remember for sure. No, maybe she doesn't. I remember. I'm gonna go do this. I do think Bernard should still. No Metal Gear games are good. I like the first.
Actually,
well,
I
I mean,
call this
not.
more of a freak.
Who is this? Who knows James?
Actually, I'd call this more of a freak.
Is it Oliver? Well, it's better to call him by his pedestrian name.
The Duke Memorial Brand Microwave. My, what a big coffee maker.
Yes. Oh, right. Right.
You put quarters into the dryer there.
All right. I like Metal Gear Solid okay,
Phew.
but actually once I hit the end of it... Oh, it's Andy! Hi, Andy.
It's sort of hypnotic.
Oh, I love this.
It'll be running quite a
The
while.
notion-
I put a lot of quarters in it.
The notion that the dryer runs so long it runs into the future. I liked Metal Gear Solid, but I actually stopped even liking it, like, by the end of it. Once it hit the end and there's the part where he's like, am I infected with the fox dye? And she's like, I don't know. Live, choose life, Snake. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, choose life? Am I infected or not? What's your deal? I don't get it. And I was already annoyed. I think Metal Gear 2 had some cool stuff in it, but it was ultimately, like, kind of an annoying thing. And James and others have told me Metal Gear 3 is where it got back on track, but I just haven't played them in forever. I was, like, getting annoyed at all the endless fucking dialogue, and I think Hideo Kojima, even though he's done some good as well, I do think overall
Yoo-hoo,
Hideo
Mr.
Kojima's,
Tentacle
like,
Guy.
effect
It's about
on gaming
time.
is a negative one. I think the fact that he has, like, made it seem like people are like, oh, he's the one telling the
Yoo-hoo,
best stories
Mr.
and
Tentacle Guy.
so cinematic
What?
in this fucking endless. He just wants to make bad anime movies. but he did video games.
So ridiculously convoluted.
Yeah.
So much of it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's just the way he tells it, though, is my issue. Like, it's just, why do I not play the game more?
Ooh, I don't feel so good.
Again?
Oh, Andy. I wrote a song once when I lived in Leeds. I'm telling Andy this. I wrote a song called, Oh, Andy, What Did I Do Wrong Here? And it was about, because there was a culture club. There was some kind of foreign exchange student club in Leeds, but it was really, there was like a real foreign exchange student like club to welcome the foreign exchange students, and then there was one that was really just the Christian group, and they kind of nefariously started their own like foreign students club to secretly try to get you maybe love Jesus. And there was this woman from Finland named Seija, and Seija, it was all about, they had a play they made about culture shock, and the other guy, the English guy, was Seija was the woman from Finland, and then there was Andy from England, and it would be stuff where it would be Seija encounters things in England and doesn't know how to deal with them, so she'd go, like, they'd enact a scene where she'd try to talk to a stranger on the bus in England, and the stranger didn't want to talk to her. He wanted to keep to himself. And so she'd go, I tried to talk to this man, and it didn't work out well for me. And then she'd go, oh, Andy, what did I do wrong here? And that was, like, her line that she said over and over. Oh, Andy, what did I do wrong here? And, yeah, I made a whole song about it, which is very classic and famous. And I've been told a friend of a friend told me that one time she was in a changing room in some clothing store and overheard someone in the changing room next door in Leeds, I guess, saying, oh, Andy, what did I do wrong? So evidently,
Oh my, yes, of course.
evidently this line lives on.
Take these tags and put them on your human and have them wait on the bench in the lobby.
Are you watching Sony?
Entrance will be judged in 3 categories.
You got what?
Best smile, best
Oh,
hair,
Kieran
and
is
best
watching.
laugh.
Thank you, fellow Tentacle.
Sony in my
Unlike
stream.
humans, you have been
What are they
very
showing?
useful.
Oh, thank you. Believe me, it was my pleasure.
There's too many Star Wars
Now
games.
all I need is
it's
a
like the extended
human.
universe.
Extended
Yowza!
Suckaverse.
That was one good-looking
Yeah.
tentacle.
Battlefront, wasn't that like an older...
Yep. This is technically the 3rd Battlefront game, I believe.
And they're just calling it Battlefront again?
Yeah, just Battlefront.
I don't get it.
When's the show going to start, my inhuman comrade?
Well, now this
Just
is
as
good
soon
because
as we get
Kieran's
enough
here,
humans in the
and
lobby with
he
their
has
tags
the
on.
Sony conference open, so I can just update what's going on in the Sony conference. Nobody
way
has
people
to
don't
see it. Yeah, nobody has to leave ever again. Oh, I was in here like a dummy. Oh, right, so now I can go in here. I think that's a funny joke. The dryer goes that long. That's good.
Ooh, cute. It shrunk to doll size.
Yeah. Oh,
Say, cutie.
and everybody
What
thinks
brings
she's a babe.
hot tentacle babe like you to a dump like this?
Don't you recognize me?
No, Hey, aren't you the waitress from Club Tentacle? I love that place. I'd be there right now if I weren't flat broke.
I'm, here to see you, big boy.
Really? Well, what are you doing for dinner?
Last
How about
Guardian
Club
is finally
Tentacle?
officially-
What am I saying? I can't
What's up?
afford to take out the trash, let alone a classy
Because I
babe
thought I
like
saw it
you.
when I was actually loading it up, and I saw something in the little caption that looked like it.
Oh.
Has finally officially and definitively been revealed as a PlayStation 4 exclusive with the 2016 release date.
Oh. Alright, Last Guardian's coming out. So they might show footage. I Yes. But the thing is, I can see all that shit later. Who cares?
I'm looking for a pet.
No, I know.
Sorry, honey.
I'm just
You
saying.
came to the wrong place. These three
Yeah.
are problem humans.
Tell me if anybody does a
Untrainable,
fist bump or anything like that.
Disobedient, downright surly.
He's just
I like
jealous
fist
because
bumps.
we've got opposable thumbs.
Yeah, just
Someday
Google
you
Last
will
Guardian.
accept
I don't know.
tentacles as your masters.
Huh. You losers can't even ride tricycles.
See why
Huh.
no one wants them as pets?
I'm looking
trying
for a
again.
pet.
I told you.
And I don't want.
I'm here by accident. Bye.
Hey, I don't want to be here either.
It is kind of amazing Last Guardian exists because it's one of those situations where, you know, if you know how it is behind the scenes of the games industry, whenever a company's like, no, it's not canceled, it's totally fucking canceled.
Get away
They're full
from
of
that.
shit.
That's my job.
Well, Duke Nukem forever.
Oh, so they just announced it and everybody went, yay! And they didn't show anything?
There was a trailer.
Oh, there was a trailer, so that already happened. Okay. What am I... I'm gonna... Oh, right, and this guy is George Washington's ancestor, for whatever reason. Because he looks like George Washington.
My, how humanity has advanced in the last 200 years. They both seem to be very happy about something.
Some of this game's quite freakish. These people
Hi.
are freakish, I think.
Hi, my name's Laverne. I'm a sophomore.
My name's Harold. I'm a thoroughbred.
Oh, I forgot about Harold's accent. I think these are beautiful faces.
That's quite a tutu you've got there.
Thank you. My owner paid quite a lot of money for it. My owner buys me anything I want.
It's quite a, it's wonderful, sort of horrible joke. The notion that this guy is the ancestor in some way of George Washington because he looks like George Washington in the other time period, and he is the weirdest, sort of like he's just an accepting man of his. He's very accepting of being owned by tentacles.
Where is your owner?
He's not here
Yeah.
right now. But he would be if he in any way possibly could. His bus broke down in Pittsburgh, so he's stuck there with the other owners.
Pittsburgh.
This is the first show I've ever done alone.
Alan.
Is your hair naturally blue?
Natural? Oh gosh, this took several very expensive sessions at a posh grooming salon. I've got the hair competition in the bag.
There's new Steven Universes starting today. I'm going all week. Our Nick, our friend, read for some reason ended up on an article saying the new Steven Universe is a game changer. Who knows what it means? Actually, what he said, it said like the new season's a game changer, and I was like, what? They
What
just had
are
it.
you,
I don't know how they
guys waiting for?
What's a season in
We're
Steven
all
Universe?
waiting for the human show to begin, of course. If you have a
Yeah.
human you want to enter, you'd better get it down here. But then again, why bother? My owner says I'm going to win. I'm the most beautiful human there is.
Well then, good luck.
Who needs luck when you've got beauty?
Some of this dialogue ain't so bad. I was just like yesterday commenting like one of the only kind of dated things in this game is how the dialogue is a little bit much. It goes on quite a while, but this one, oh yeah, there's that
I
kitty.
like what they've done with the place. What a shabby paint job. Can't get close to him.
Maybe this puzzle's a little weird. I won't deal with it right now. It's a little funky. Okay, there's no reason to be in here. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm under strict orders from Tentacle number 1. the almighty elder, the grand poobah, Purple Tentacle, not to let anyone near this clock.
But I have rights. I'm a tentacle.
And a darned attractive one, I might add. But no one gets to this clock while I'm here. And unless I have to go chase down some escaped humans, I'm glued to this spot.
Rats. You heard the man. Escape!
You're talking to the wrong people. We like it here. We're celebrities.
I don't know what that means. What does the reaction vitalizes the road mean?
Nice clock.
Yes, it's a valuable
Nice
antique.
clock.
I'd
Nice
like
crowbar.
to show it to you, but I'm presently charged with the task of guarding it. No one will get near it while I'm here.
Couldn't I please touch the clock?
Sorry, no. No one touches the clock while I'm on duty.
Aren't you curious about what's inside the clock?
Not really. Guarding it is more or less the same, no matter what's inside.
Has anyone ever escaped
Oh, right.
from this place?
So now I
Some
need to
try
make
once in
humans
a while,
escape.
but I always fetch them back. That's my primary duty here, and I take it very seriously. I always get my man, no matter how long it takes. Why, I once trailed a renegade human for 6 days. He led me clear
Right.
through the hills
Well,
and
they
up to
love
the
to
top
do
of
that.
those mountains to the west. You couldn't possibly imagine the horrible
E3 is
things I
just
had to do to
conferences
survive.
constantly. People going, this is an exclusive. This one.
Pieces
Oh,
of your
coleslaw's
own
funnier, I
body?
guess.
Good heavens!
You're quite a tracker, aren't you?
Rather. I always get my man, no matter how long it takes.
Hi, I'm Laverne.
That's an odd way
Laverne,
to...
eh? Curious name for a tentacle, I must say. Are you here for the show?
Show? No, I'm not here
I
for
just
the
like
show.
to see what doing all the wrong
No?
things does.
Are you a human owner? If you are, perhaps you should consider entering. There are some jolly good prizes to be won. Why, the grand prize is a dinner for two at Club Tentacle.
Well, be seeing you.
Yes, perhaps I could regale you with further tales of my tracking expertise.
So as of right now, Laverne knows she needs to get this guy to chase after escaped humans.
Stupid tentacle.
Alright.
That ice looks incredibly old. W.
Oh yeah, and it's funny like they kept this stuff.
Nobody I know. It looks like a poodle I once knew.
The nice thing about
how
LucasArts games
decorative.
is that you make the stupidest choice and you get away with it. You can be an
Looks
asshole all
comfortable.
the time.
In commemoration of the Constitutional Convention, interred by Thomas Jefferson, A.D. 1790. Run over by a plow, A.D. 1795. Sorry about the dents.
I see.
It's sunny out. It's a dented old can.
Give it.
I can't pick it up. Maybe I can open it.
I know how to do that. Here. I guess maybe something this game. So was there like
It's
nothing
a
in it?
dented old. It's a dented old can.
Oh right, because they didn't put anything in it yet. So where's the wine? Is it in here? Yeah. Well, is this a real thing too? Does wine turn into vinegar, or is that a silly?
I can look that up for you.
I'd like to know if it's a real thing, but I mean, I remember going, oh yeah, that makes sense. Here, have some wine.
Thank you. This is exactly the sort of thing I need for the time capsule. I'll bury it tonight, and it won't be seen for
But it's like
hundreds
a
of
tiny
years.
vinegar.
Future generations are in
What
your
kind?
debt.
Wine vinegar.
Whoa.
Oh, I guess that counts. Yeah.
Yo, Tom.
Thomas,
So, how's the time capsule going?
It's
very well.
apparently
Now that
frugal,
you've provided that
frugal
fine
audio
recent
Oh,
vintage
yeah.
wine, I plan to bury it
because
this
apparently
evening.
It's still technically wine, but it's technically vinegar
I
because it's
see.
got acid in it.
I see. I still have not played Broken Age. I own it all.
How goes the framing of the Constitution?
Not so well. We're not sure if we should guarantee the right to bear arms, or if it will generate too many atrocious puns. I
Nice.
sure hope someone gives us a useful suggestion soon.
I will give them a suggestion.
Later, bro.
I like
What?
again some
What's
of the
going to
puzzles in this
happen
game. It's
later?
just like I'll just do it because clearly there's something to be done here. So there's no
George
particular
says
reason.
that every American should have a vacuum cleaner in their basement.
But yeah, obviously his name is George. What if you try to give it to him? I'm just curious.
I don't want.
Fine. I've heard the first half of Broken Age is like too easy, and then the second half has like old school puzzle bullshit that shouldn't happen anymore.
Boy, it's sure quiet in here.
Boy,
I wonder if there might be any ideas worth discussing in the suggestion box. Maybe somebody should take a look. I say, lads, I have an idea.
I like all these little
Does it
sequences
have
in this
anything to
game.
do
They're
with
always
starting a
a
fire?
little bit.
No.
They're kind of rewarding,
I was thinking it's about time we open the suggestion box.
especially when like you
agree?
didn't know what the hell
Sure,
you were doing,
George, if you say so.
and then you tried something,
Yes, whatever you think is fine with us.
and it like triggers
Excellent.
a little cutscene. This used to be somehow very rewarding, and I don't
What's
know
he
if it's just this
thinking?
game or.
No one of any importance has been here all day. What could be in the suggestion box?
Perhaps he intends to suggest something himself.
Oh.
Here's a suggestion. It says, George says that every American should have a vacuum cleaner in their basement. What do you think, gentlemen?
Whatever you say, George.
Your name's on it. I'm sure you must have a good reason for suggesting it.
Yes. It's strange. I don't quite... Well, I'm sure I had a reason for it. If there are no objections, we shall add it to the Constitution immediately. No? Good. And so shall it be law.
What's a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure you'd ever know that you needed a vacuum cleaner there, but they point you very heavily to needing to put a suggestion in there. It's got George's name on it. I still need this gold. I have vinegar now, technically.
Yo, Tom.
Thomas,
How goes the framing of the Constitution?
great. George's suggestion about the vacuum cleaners really got the old creative juices flowing. By tomorrow, we'll have finished all 9,800 amendments.
Yes, it does say you suck.
I hope they've got a good editor.
Alright.
Later, brah.
I guess I'll get the
What?
vinegar.
What's going to happen
I'm sort of
later?
playing this as though I'm trying to play a little bit as though like I'm just learning.
Chateau de Cheap, 1775.
I'm just learning stuff that they want me to do, and I'm doing it sort of.
Chateau de Cheap,
As soon as I learn a new
1775.
objective, I try to do it. Because I used to play this game very methodically. I just would do it almost in the most time-saving way. I just had an exact run-through, and I don't want to remember how I used to play it exactly. So here's the vinegar, buddy.
Ah, excellent. I need that for my super battery.
So at this point, the objectives are I need to get gold and I need to get Laverne into the basement.
Only employees are allowed to use that lab coat.
And then you got
Help
this.
wanted lab assistant. Hard-working moronic drone needed to assist genius with experiments. High school diploma
I think
not
we're about to hear
required.
this read again. But whatever.
What's this? Help wanted, moronic drone.
Blah, blah,
Well,
blah, blah.
I'm the only genius around, and you look dumb enough. So pick up your lab coat and get to work.
The stuff where you like give people a sign or some
It looks more like a
note
rain
that has
coat
their
than
name
lab.
on it or has something that they might misinterpret always makes me think. I think that kind of puzzle works pretty well, and it's weird that it's in this game more than once because it's the same thing as I said yesterday, but in First Monkey Island when you give the cannibals that pamphlet that says how to get ahead in blah 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 blah, how to get ahead in navigation. I think
Hey,
it's like the same
What
kind of
is
puzzle,
it this
sort of.
time?
what are you doing?
I'm working on a new
Yes, you
battery with
are.
an incredible storage capacity.
Well, I'll just keep
I think I'll be
exploring
moseying along now.
Laverne's place. I
Well,
guess.
don't mosey over anything breakable on your way out.
I haven't. I've kind of left, but I haven't done much of anything Bernard's time, which is the opposite of how I used to play this. Oh no. James says my voice is in Assassin's
what an
Creed.
interesting mannequin. Hello, my silent gauze-wrapped friend.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
think you can-
concerned about the human show.
I never thought about this.
Is it really moral? Giving prizes for the best smile and hair?
I never thought about this, but is part of this supposed to be?
I've got to get power
Oh.
to my chronojohn. I might be able to use the hamster generator in the basement. How am I going to get rid of the tentacle by the clock?
Okay, I totally forgot about this, but obviously the point of Dead Cousin Ted is to remind you of all the objectives you still have.
I could try to overpower him.
That's a good system. And yeah, it's to remind you everything and like maybe give you a few hints. That's good. That's another
I really
thing I
should
never
go
even
now.
thought about.
Call me sometime, okay? It's that guy from the Hawaiian Cop Show.
It's so weird
I
to me
don't
that there are like
really
so
like
many things in this
touching it.
game in particular that are like
Comfy.
so specifically pointing to
It's a nice,
to
long,
helping you solve
heavy-duty
puzzles.
one.
Like I don't understand why they worked so hard on this, and then they've got so many fuck ups in other like.
I almost killed myself on a pair
As
of
I've
those
said, I love
ones.
Full Throttle, but Full Throttle's got a
Groovy.
horrible puzzle design, and it's like, why did they fuck it up so bad? I don't get it.
Classy.
Maybe it's because they focus more on the story and the tone in that game, and like, maybe they don't know. You try one, you do one thing, and
It's a nice,
another
long,
thing.
heavy-duty one.
it loses from the design when you work on the other stuff. I don't know. It shouldn't have to be that way, but one would hope. But I do have to say, the sad truth I've always noticed is that
Lieutenant, I
The
want
best-
to ask you something. It may trouble you.
Final Fantasy VII.
Ask away, sir.
yeah, there's a
I can
Final
take
Fantasy
it.
VII remake.
I've got a strong stomach, nerves of steel,
Coming.
bowels of brass.
I kind of like these little cutscenes. Oh, the way the
Some
text
cannon
does
son,
that
this
fucks
is
up that joke. The way he starts saying suckers.
Seemed a bit
Nah.
Ooh, ick. You mean like non-squishy and non-slimy?
That's right. Come closer. I I've recently become suspicious that humans might try to infiltrate us.
No!
Though basically
No.
stupid, they can be tricky. They may be in disguise.
Final Fence.
This is coming first, or
Oh.
it sounds like it'll be released on other.
Oftentimes they say exclusive and they're full of shit and it just means it's temporarily. So sometimes they even say exclusive and it's not true. Like today they were saying Cuphead was going to be exclusive on Xbox. It's going to be on PC. Cuphead's like one of the only games I'm excited about at all because it's so pretty. Although it's just a shooty shoot game like Alien Hominid or something. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about something before and I forgot. Ah, jeez.
Great Scott!
Oh, hey, buddy.
You're purple.
Yes?
Oh yeah, I was saying the thing that's sad to me is I do have to admit the most like cohesively like narrative games that kind of kept their gameplay and narrative working together throughout tend to the narrative is very minimal, and I always think I would love for storylines to be more complex in games, but usually then they're not also as good. Because like Shadow of the Colossus is great, the story is minimal as hell. This game, the story is actually pretty minimal if you get down to it. It's just get your friends back and stop this fella from taking over the world. And other than that, it's just these like little jokey bits kind of connecting it all.
Well, don't you just look good enough to eat?
What's that supposed to mean? You're not a human sympathizer, are you?
I like Laverne. She's weird.
Why, yes, I'm a firm believer in human rights.
I'd almost think you were serious. You know, I'm working on a way to get rid of the humans once and for all.
So, what are you plotting?
I'm building a shrinking ray, which I can use to shrink those pesky humans out of my sight for good.
Tell me more about this shrinking ray of yours.
I call it the diminuator. The biggest problem left is to design a trigger that doesn't require fingers.
Is it really?
What?
I've been researching for the possibility. Oh, he's gonna kickstart Shenmue 3. That's crazy. Is that what's happening?
I think so, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Say, you look
I'm
kind
sure
of
he'll
familiar.
do well.
Of course I do,
Kickstarter.
Nitwit. I'm Purple Tentacle, renowned world conqueror.
I know our friend James also loves the Shenmue. I don't know I only played a little
Are you the
bit.
same purple tentacle who knew Dr.
When he visited, we
Fred?
actually hooked up a
On your
freaking
ancient history,
Dreamcast
are you?
and played it.
Yes, I remember that insignificant insect.
I don't
If you will
know.
excuse me, I've got something in the oven.
Anyone I know, eh?
My problem with Shenmue was, I mean, in truth, I didn't
At
try it
least
that
he
much, but
hasn't
to me,
conquered
I've played so many
Antarctica
bad,
yet.
weird, slow, old
I
adventure
wonder
games
how
that I
it
was
can
like, well,
float
that's all this
midair
is,
like
isn't it?
that.
What's the difference? I don't get it. I played so many
According
games
to
that feel,
these,
I mean, it's
the
different.
tentacles
It's
control
different.
most of
I
the
guess.
world already.
It's a weird, you live in Japan simulator.
He looks a little older than I remember.
I don't know. I tried the first one a little, and I didn't try that much, but I'm looking for sailors.
Are they actually counting down to the release of the Kickstarter for Shenmue?
Oh, is that what's happening?
I guess so.
Go kickstart Shenmue 3. That's crazy. Can you? What
There was a
happened?
guy who was standing up, and when it was doing the countdown, and he went like this. Down. I expect to see gifs of that gentleman soon.
I do really love in Shenmue the
I have to go, but if you want, I can just leave this like this.
All right. Can you? What a bizarre day and age where the Sony conference has one of the big announcements is someone going, help us raise money. You know, how strange. Did you ever predicted this? Help us raise money, we'll make you a game. Oh, highly restricted. Alright.
Ooh. Dinner for two at Club Tentacle. Dang, it says tentacles only. I can't, it's behind.
I guess.
Ooh.
I do think, yeah, alright. Laverne's place has dead ends. Laverne's environment doesn't loop as much, really, like everyone else's. But there's also less to see. I still think this game, like, backtracking doesn't really feel too much like that. Like, I think this is the longest room, this hallway, in every time period. My favorite thing in Shenmue is the mean schoolgirls who will murder you if you fail the quick time scene. They slit your throat. It's quite distressing. But I've watched them. That somebody put a video of just them on YouTube. The thing where they're going, if you just keep bothering them, hey, pansy ass geek, jerk off. Okay, bastard.
How's it going, Mr. Tentacle Guy?
Okay, bastard is one
Same
of my
as ever.
favorite
I'm
things.
broke, hate my job, etc.
Okay, bastard. Jerk off. I'm not in the mood for this.
I'm here by accident. Bye.
Hey,
I always thought
don't
"Okay,
wanna be here
bastard"
either.
was a good name for a band with an exclamation point. Okay, bastard. I don't think I can do that much with Laverne right now. I guess I better go back to Bernard. And I swear to God, every single one of these conferences, they show you a fucking Batman game. Everything's a Batman game now. There's nothing but Batman games, guys. Jeez Louise.
Who knows what surprises await inside?
Ah, funnel. Don't you know Blackmail's way cool? Really? That's in there? That's great. I know of Shenmue when the guy goes, hey Ryo, got some sweet info for you. And then Ryo goes, sweet info? Which is pretty good. I'm actually sort of watching the Sony conference. Kieran has turned his laptop toward me. I don't know what this is. It is a diner simulation.
I've never gotten over my childhood fear of Uzo. You looking at me? Are you looking at me? Then who are you looking at?
Surely
huh?
diner simulation
I
has
asked
to be
you a
by
question.
David Cage or something.
Okay, clown, that does it. I hate that clown.
So then I guess it's just the thought that he hates the clown. You want to help Bernard out. He hates the clown. Let's help Bernard. Although, you know, it's good that this is another thing I'm considering now is the fact that you often have like more than one motivation, right? Because in this case it's just Bernard fucking hates Uzo, right? So why not murder Uzo? But then later you know that you need a voice. I guess I don't remember how it hints at it, but I know later for Laverne you know you need the voice box from inside of Uzo. Let's murder him. I do like how this is all a little bit twisted.
The voice of Uzo in a box. It's bad enough to carry the weight of his death on my conscience.
I know I have to do things in here. I just want to see something quickly. I want to talk to... How did I get out so fast?
Hey, Ted.
Oh, this is a BioShock game, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Whatever's showing right now on the Sony. I don't have the audio on, but I'm just kind of glancing over at it occasionally.
Boy, I haven't seen you since I was here 5 years ago. Boy, I wish I had as little on my mind as you do.
Yeah, so like this is great. I completely forgot about the fact that you can kind of
I mean, my best friends are stranded
talk
in
to
time.
Ted about your problems, and he's a little bit of a hint system.
I've got to somehow get
Or not
hold of a
even, he's
diamond.
less a hint system and more of a remember what you need to do system, but to an extent, a hint system as well.
I wish I knew someone with a lot of money.
Okay.
Well, I'd best be on about saving the world.
What else was I thinking of? There was something else that occurred to me. La 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 la. Oh, this guy. I haven't even talked to this guy. It's Ben Franklin.
You and the clown were having a party?
No, last night. At the Novelty Good Salesmen's Convention. I tell you, we novelty good salesmen know how to have a good time.
I love that there's so many nice blah blah blah. Like that's often your option of dialogue, so you know.
Nice cigars.
I import them from the finest Cuban munitions factories. So, want a cigar?
Sure, lay one of those Havanan babies on me.
Thought I was gonna blow your head off there, didn't you? Well, you were right.
Oh yeah, and your head disappears. I wonder if he has a sound if I'm using MIDI. I wonder if they give him a MIDI laugh or something. Seems like something they might do.
That cracks me up every time.
You bastard. They have a lot of these switcheroo puzzles.
It looks almost real.
Which are pretty obvious. I mean, you go, well, there's a thing here I could switch, why not do it?
Disgusting.
Oh. Jumpy
Looks
little
like
sucker.
they all escaped.
Jumpy.
Slippery little devil.
Doesn't he say jumpy little sucker, too?
Hold still with jumpy little sucker. Jumpy little...
Jumpy little sucker. Yeah, I like the laughing animation, too. This is fairly easy to figure out, right? Yeah. I think this is a pretty easy puzzle. You might find it by accident almost. Jumpy little sucker.
Jumpy little sucker.
Does he keep
Jumpy
saying that?
little sucker.
Jumpy little sucker.
Hi there.
What can I do for you, kid?
Don Corleone.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Don Corleone?
That's strange. My wife says I look like the ghost pirate LeChuck.
Hey,
so, want another cigar?
references.
Sorry, my mom told me never to smoke.
Hey, if I listened to my mom, I wouldn't be where I am today. Well, suit yourself, boy.
So this guy, I mean, basically his whole
Hi
thing
there.
is that he wants to
What
make
can
you
I do for
smoke
you,
the
kid?
cigars. So it's pretty easy to...
So where is everybody?
The really big bash was last night. I guess they're all sleeping it off. So, want another cigar?
I think they do a pretty good job of no.
Sorry, my mom told me never to smoke.
In some cases, they
Well,
just
suit
drive you
yourself,
towards,
boy.
only one, this guy's whole purpose is this. So all his dialogue's about it, basically. I'm gonna do this.
What's that strange hovering saucer-shaped object?
Huh? I don't see anything.
Oh, never mind.
I want to use the gun on you.
Hey, it's not a... Hi
Whatever.
there.
What
Fine.
can I do for you, kid?
What time is it? Oh, it's 10. I probably won't play as long as I did yesterday. Well, I mean, I played like 2 hours, so I'll probably, maybe I only play about that much.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Don Corleone?
That's strange. My wife says I look like Charlie Parker. So, want another cigar?
Okay, but only if you promise not to light it this time.
Would I do a thing like that?
Perhaps precisely.
I don't get it.
Specifically, I'm playing the coolest game in the world. And it is much better than Call of Duty Blops 2, which is what is currently being shown on the Crap-a-Duty Sony conference
there.
for jerks.
What can I do for you, kid?
Don't you hate me now?
Has anyone ever told you you look like Dante Alighieri?
That's strange. My wife says I look like Charles
Charles
Lawton.
Lawton, my
Nah,
goodness.
beat it, kid.
He's pissed off. What if I try switching the gun back? Do it.
Wow, that guy just
Oh,
won
you
the
can?
lottery.
Oh, weird.
Get last, kid.
Oh, no, he won't. That's right. Okay, he's just mad at you now.
The voice of Uzo in a box.
Talk to it.
I'd rather not.
Oh, there was something I wanted to try. I don't think it's going to do anything, but I wanted to try it out. I want to try talking to the toilet. Oh, you can't. Now,
Hey, Dr. Fred.
Dr. Fred.
Call me when you get a diamond.
Alright. You're a jerk, Dr. Fred. Gonna fuck up your shit. I remember finding this quite fun, making Dr. Fred freak out like this.
Thanks. I needed a little pick-me-up.
He says damn good coffee sometimes, doesn't he? I didn't. I think if you put normal coffee in, he says damn good coffee. Is that right?
Must open safe.
I should have checked before, but I forgot.
Must sign contract. Must provide for family.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It looks like a generator driven by a treadmill.
I saw the King's Quest trailer earlier, or I didn't. I saw them showing a bit of the gameplay off. It could be fun. It looks fun. It's super cartoony looking, and the way the puzzles were set. I mean, I couldn't tell. Asshole. The way the puzzles were looking, I thought it maybe was Oh, okay. It's a JK.
There's a contract in it.
Oh yeah, you can try to pick up the contract.
He almost took my hand off with the door. What somnambulistic disquiet he suffers.
Disquiet.
There's a contract in it. Fred's in the way. I've heard it's not too good to disturb a sleepwalker.
I have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing, but alright, yeah, I remember. More or less. This'll wake Fred up. There we go. Let's go up the chimney. Is there a point in having regular coffee? I don't remember. Oh, I remember now. But you can't do anything with it right now. I saw that King's Quest though. I thought it looked alright. It looked kind of fun. It was the puzzling. I can't really tell, but it kind of looked like.
I can't use a videotape with that. I don't
looked
know
like
how
it
I
might.
did it.
It looked like it might be more like, you know.
I don't think I can with him moving around.
That's fun. That's cool. You can try that. The way, you know, there are puzzle games and there are adventure games, and often there's those meet at a place. But I think there are some adventure games that are more puzzly and some puzzle games that are more adventure-y, like The Lost Vikings is a sort of adventure-y for an action puzzler. It feels a little adventure gamey because, frankly, it's a lot like Goblins, if anybody knows those series. That's some old weird shit. It's like Goblins, but with a little bit of action in it.
It's not exactly the Ritz.
But, I don't know, I couldn't tell. The only thing about the King's Quest games is, like, the new one, it's all cartoony and silly looking and weird and, like, I don't know. It doesn't, aside from the fact that they gave Graham his hat that he had in the old King's Quest games, it's like, well, why? I know why is the thing, you know, I know why. I think if you beat this fast enough, if you don't keep jumping around rooms, I think you can see you can beat this without seeing the entire,
I bet there are better
all
decorated
of Purple
rooms in
Tentacle
prison.
strategy, but it's fun to see it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I get why why did they make a King's Quest game that it doesn't really look anything like King's Quest. It's just some cartoony game. It almost in a weird way makes me think more of a LucasArts game, because why is it cartoony? But I think my feeling on it is I know the answer. The answer is just it's a business thing. They go, well, we've got this established brand name that there are still old people who want to play King's Quest, so we'll put a King's Quest game out there. And the guy working on it, it's like a dream come true for him, but it's like they can't. I wouldn't want them. I'm not saying I'm pissed off with what they did to my beloved King's Quest. I really don't give a shit. I played those games, and King's Quest is basically medieval archetypes and fantasy archetypes and fairy tale archetypes just kind of mashed together. The characters are pretty much empty vessels. So, it doesn't bother me. It's just a situation where I'm like, but why is it King's Quest? What, you could have just made a new game, but obviously I know the reason. It's all business. It's all based in business. So, I guess that's the reason. I'll play it. Those guys made the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom, which I thought was fun. I have heard of Dropsy. Oddly enough, I kickstarted Dropsy. It's one of those games. I guess I'm going to have a free copy of Dropsy when it comes out, but there was just a period where I went on a Kickstarting spree, because if you look on Kickstarter every day, it is such a bad idea, because there is always somebody making some project that will appeal to your nostalgia, if you're old enough to have nostalgia, no matter what it is. And I could have probably just kept kickstarting adventure games if I just keep looking. And yeah, I kickstarted Dropsy. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. It's clearly the game I probably kickstarted out of everything I've kickstarted that nobody's talking about. Like, I kickstarted bigger stuff beyond that, like Shovel Knight.
Ed Edison, the paramilitary nut?
Why, yes, Hey, do I know you?
It's kind of amazing I haven't even come in here yet.
I'm Bernard Bernoulli. I broke into your house 5 years ago, kidnapped your hamster, broke into your piggy bank.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell, but I can't remember much about that period anyway. My
Dropsy might be cool.
Thinks something traumatic happened to me back then that I'm blocking out.
It obviously seemed like a cool thing to me when I first saw it, but now like I get the updates from the guy, and I'm like, all right, I don't know. I'll wait for it to come out. They've just been showing Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for like an hour. Why are you biased to Dropsy? Is it just because you like adventure games?
Does it have anything to do with a hamster?
All I know is that I used to have a cute white hamster with spots, and now I have a cute brown one with no spots. It used to worry me, and the nightmares would come. I'm much better now. I don't have those bad thoughts anymore.
Is he doing
now I collect stamps.
Is he doing his own music for Dropsy, or is he isn't he getting someone else to do it, or is he also doing the music?
Nice hamster. Does he do tricks?
No, he just sits there. I used to have a really smart hamster, but something happened to him.
What happened to the old hamster?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can't remember.
I thought he was.
When I try, all I can think of is a flash of light and this horrible sound.
What's his music called? Because I remember thinking the Dropsy music, I was like, it seems alright. It's kind of creepy, but...
What was the horrible sound?
It was sort of like ding. Oh God, I hear it in my dreams till this day.
Something I very much like about Day of the Tentacle is how, since it's a sequel to Maniac Mansion, it's so vastly different, though, from Maniac Mansion that in many ways it almost feels like somebody's much better fan fiction. I like that they reference these things you could do in the original game, but like the way it changed Weird Ed Edison. It changed Ed Edison into this kind of shell-shocked guy.
That hamster really should
And
get
I
some
like that.
exercise.
You didn't have to blow the hamster
Well,
up, but it
Dad
was something
would
almost
think to
everybody
work
did,
down
I feel
in the
like.
basement sometimes.
Alright.
But then he starts sweating, and then he gets wet, and then he gets cold, and then he refuses to work.
Your dad or the hamster?
That's the part where
Are
they
you
clearly
making fun of
love
me?
that joke so much
No,
that they wanted
I
to.
get upset when people make fun of me.
I just meant
Huh?
Oh, it makes me
Oh,
so
your dad?
mad. I
Which joke?
just want to
No, the hamster.
Oh,
relax.
blowing up the hamster?
I want
Yeah.
to relax. I'll be okay if I just focus on my steps.
Oh, yeah, Jay Tolan. I remember, yeah. If it's just his name, I will look into it.
that's quite a nice collection. Can I have it?
No. I mean, no. They mean a lot to me. Sometimes I think they're the only friends I've got.
I think once I have talked to Ed and Edna, I've almost essentially exhausted the conversations in this game. I mean, there's a little bit more for Laverne with the human show, but
How are the folks?
Well,
think
Dad's
that's
in the
kinda
basement
it.
doing an experiment. Mom's in the next room spying on a honeymoon. Ted's in the front yard.
Holding up a bowl of lard?
Well, it's a bird bath, actually, but it rhymes better your way.
Are all your
I
hobbies
probably
this
won't
fascinating?
play much
I don't have
longer.
any other hobbies.
'Cause that'll
These
be about
stamps
2
are my
hours.
life. If anything were ever to happen to them,
Well, hope I didn't get you too excited. Bye.
peace be with you.
As I'm saying, we're only here to make you go.
Oh, I am afraid of even touch a computer because of what it'll do. Because I know it's supposed to run the original Maniac Pitch, and I know ScumVM doesn't support it. I don't think it works, but I'm afraid it'll just fuck everything up. Fuck everything up? Should I do it? I hope this doesn't fuck everything up. Oh, okay, yeah, it just says that.
Jeepers.
Jeepers. That was a very cool little thing that you could play that.
Boy, he's been working out since the last time I saw him. Pony Express stamps.
Yes, not the most valuable kind, but they have a lot of sentimental value to me. Hey, don't touch my stamps.
Well, they make very clear that his stamps are very important. Oh. Yes, it is nice of them.
He's reading the Wall Street Journal.
Steal. It's funny, it's so easy to do that.
Cute little fella.
I know what to do here. Shall I do it? I mean, I guess you realize later, there's so many reasons for this, like, you need Pony Express stamps later. I think you figure that out later. Also, Weird Ed is very protective of his stamps. So, there's a lot of reasons, I guess. What if you try to... Well, I guess you don't want to fuck his stamps up, but bam, I'm gonna put them on him.
Hey, be careful. You almost hit my stamps.
That's obviously very clear. I haven't been
Hey.
trying...
Don't touch my
Oh, I tried to
stamps.
switch the books. I just want to read to him.
Although limited to a low-pressure, sub-zero, nitrogen-free environment, the flux induction circuit can still be quite useful.
That's so boring, it almost put me to sleep. And I collect stamps.
What is this thing called?
The Chicago
Chicago
Manual
Manual
of
of
Thermodynamic Flux Induction Circuit Design. Great stuff.
I guess I can do this now, whatever, right? But there should be lots of ways to fuck up his stamps, really. But I guess you
I'd
don't
rather
want
not.
to. You want to pour coffee on his stamps.
I don't know. It's powerful stuff.
Okay. I'll just do it.
Hey, want to see a neat trick?
Sure.
Neat, huh?
My Pony Express stamps. You ruined my Pony Express stamps. Not to mention 5 years of therapy. Get out of my room.
Jeez, what a grump. He should really try to find some outlet for those... negative feelings. A 1778 Pony Express General Delivery stamp. Not too valuable, but it is uncancelled.
I do like the, yeah, these are like the little sequences. You
It looks like all the inks disappeared now.
He's furious.
Get out of here.
If you try to walk.
Hey, leave the rest of my stuff
I
alone
guess-
and get out of here.
I think you can just leave him furious, huh?
Get
But if
out
you
of
didn't get the
here.
hamster, it's bad.
Hey, you fixed it. I guess I can forgive you now.
Sometimes I do stupid stuff and I don't even know why. As if my body were being controlled by
Alright.
some demented, sadistic puppet master.
Well,
It's
we all
me.
feel that way sometimes.
I don't think there's anything else to talk to you about.
Well, hold on.
Peace.
Well, I don't know. This might be a good stopping point. Unless everybody's having an amazing time. But we're gonna do Day of the Tentacle. I think, what did I say? Probably not tomorrow, definitely. Wednesday, I'm gonna try to do it Wednesday, and I'm gonna try to do Thursday. But I'll see if I can't. As I said, I'll say something on Twitter. But I don't do it. How much of the game is left? There's only like so many. In terms of the things that take the most time or conversation, I wanted to stop here because I know you can talk to Edna for like an hour, and I just wanted to hold off on that. Yeah. So, but there's, I don't know, that's like one of the huge conversations that's left, and then later you got to do quite a few things puzzle-wise, but the puzzles move pretty quick overall, considering I know what to do. So I don't know. Right now I'm only have 2 other days of playing it planned this week. If I don't finish it, I guess I'll play it next week too. But all right. Should I set this up now? All right. Well, all right. I'm gonna close this down. I'm gonna set up the other game for Kieran to play. It's up to you if you want to hang out. I appreciate you guys coming and watching Day of the Tentacle. And so forth. And the culmination of this will be that I write a ridiculously huge thing about how awesome the design is. I still think it's very good. There's lots of stuff I'm thinking of when I'm playing it that they really point to the solutions. They put a lot of hinting in the dialogue, which I think they did well, and they did like subtly. Sometimes not even subtly, but like just because maybe the solutions were a little weird. As long as if the solutions are weird, but you hint at them really hard, then there's a balance. I always thought they did this game. I still think did a pretty good job most of the time. And I'll never know for sure because I can never play this game blind again. It's impossible. I will literally have to have lost a piece of my brain, and then maybe I'll be able to do it. Maybe when I have Alzheimer's.
Naughty Dog did Uncharted?
Naughty Dog did Uncharted.
Okay, so then it looks like this is Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4, everyone. That's what Sony's doing. Alright, we'll be right back with a totally different game, a side scroller. I still have the chat open, actually, too, so you can say whatever you want, and I will actually see it, although I won't be able to reply with my gorgeous voice.